Welcome,
Hey,
welcome,
you guys,
welcome, welcome.
ep.7, and you guys won it 2005. So there we go, 2005.
Interesting year. This is the first year I can actually provide some perspective on.
Yeah, you can. But yeah, I was wrong
I
about
was
the.
a wee lad. I was only 8 years old in 2005.
Really, I was 25.
I was completing second grade and going into third grade in 2005.
I just graduated community college, and I was trying to find a job, but nobody would hire me.
I was a wee lad.
But I told you about YouTube getting launched. Actually, we were both
Hmm?
wrong. It,
Hmm.
it was in 2005, but it was launched February 14th of 20.
Okay, so like a couple weeks before the end of the year.
No, after the end of the year. Be,
December 14th?
no, February.
January 14th, 2006. Okay.
No. February of 2005.
Oh, January of 2005? Really? That early?
No, February.
So Valentine's Day of 2005 was when YouTube was launched.
Yeah, that's what it says right here. The
Hmm.
launch of YouTube February 14th, 2005.
Hmm.
So it was
Interesting.
yeah, it was early 2005 because and
There's
people
pretty good country music that came out that year. Most notably, probably Josh Turner's biggest hit,
true.
"Your Man." Just to be your man.
Yeah, so what you guys, that was very important to
If it
without
weren't for
that
2005 and YouTube being launched, we wouldn't be here right now.
we wouldn't be here, we wouldn't have Mr. Beast. We wouldn't
Don't
have
know about that, but don't know about that one. But
we wouldn't have Tom Grossi. He will still be a history teacher right now if we didn't have
yeah,
any.
he was still a social studies teacher.
That's crazy though. That
Amazing how one
yeah
app
that
has changed the lives of so many people.
yeah without that one event, none of this is possible. No.
Definitely would not have people like Miss Rachel either.
Yeah. So did you do any research?
Sorry,
I did a lot of
that's
research.
my mom opening the garage door. If you hear that,
No,
sorry about that.
don't worry about that.
All right.
I did a lot of research on 2005. Very interesting. Very.
Well, 2005. That's when my first. Well, that was my first. This is not trying to get political here, but this is the first exposure to make me say, "Yeah, I don't really believe everything the government tells me,
Okay.
or the media, for that matter."
At the
Because
age.
let me give you some perspective here. So this was right at the beginning of my third grade year. Okay. This was late August, early September 2005. Hurricane Katrina just hit New Orleans. There was a news reporter reporting and saying that, you know, New Orleans just got barely grazed. You know, they're very lucky that they dodged the bullet, basically. Meanwhile, I'm looking at live footage with my own two eyes and saying, yeah, there's a barn floating away on Lake Pontchartrain. There's a barn floating away on rising waters. Did they
Yeah,
really
but
live?
was that like national media or local media?
That was National Public Radio, NPR.
Yeah, I remember.
But
watching.
that's the first time I ever went, really? You dodged the bullet, or are you just taking it from your perspective?
I
Or
think
are
he
you
was,
actually going out through in the city and
yeah, but I think he was. I think he was thinking
he
in
was
his
in the French Quarter
for
in safe ground?
yeah. See, yeah, that was it.
But
But
yeah, you're not going out in the city and saying
yeah,
and seeing the actual damage. That's the problem that I had.
because, I saw on CNN, ESPN, local news stations covering this, and they're all saying, yeah, it's bad. It's yeah. I used to watch a lot of
But
yeah,
the thing that made it so much worse was the response by both FEMA,
yeah,
state and local governments as well. It was all politics that made it so much worse.
and
A
it
lot
was
of lives, a lot of lives were lost because of the slow response,
yeah. You're right about that one. Yeah,
and that really changed my outlook on a lot of things.
the way that I
That's a
found out
big
about
event,
the hurricane,
and that was also, if you recall, one of the first events I absolutely remember. That's one of the first events I completely remember.
oh really?
I mean, I remember some aspects of 2003, mostly when it comes to the Cubs and stuff like that and sports. But in, ter- in terms of like politics and natural disasters and all that, this was the first major story that I absolutely remember.
Yeah, you're lucky because I remember a lot of this. It's crazy. I
Hmm.
I remember the '89 earthquake. I remember the 2001 terrorist attack on the uh what did he call it, buildings in New York.
World Trade Center.
Yeah. Then the Hurricane Katrina on New Orleans.
Yeah,
But
Katrina. Mhm.
yeah, but the way that I found out about that was watching ESPN, the sports channel, because
Mhm.
that year the Green Bay Packers, were supposed to go up to New Orleans to play New Orleans.
Actually, I know someone who actually went to the game that they were playing the Saints. The Saints actually came to Lambeau Field.
Yeah,
This was the only time my family has ever been to Lambeau Field for a game. Okay, and they came in like just after Hurricane Katrina hit. It
yeah,
was like week 5 of 2005,
yeah,
and I mean there was no contest. It was like 52-3.
yeah, yeah,
Okay,
yeah. I
but
remember. Yeah, I remember that.
my dad and my grandpa were both. Um, I mean, it was a pretty watched year. No one was going anywhere that
Yeah,
year.
nobody was. Nobody
Yeah, the
was.
Packers were pretty bad that year, so
Yeah,
they were
that's
just they were average. I don't think they made the playoffs that year, so
no,
Brett
no.
Favre
Me
was,
the wild card and with the loss.
yeah, yeah, but Brett Favre was mediocre at best.
And you got to know that Brett Favre got injured that year for a couple of weeks. So you got to see
No,
it.
he may have been injured, but he still started.
Yeah, but he started. But after the first quarter, they put in the rookie Aaron Rodgers, and he had a good he had a good outing against the Cowboys. We still lost, but he came into. But yeah, there was a lot of people lost. People were trying to find their family members and stuff like that after Katrina.
The thing that disheartened me was the amount of people dying in sewage water. I
Yeah.
mean, you just see the bodies floating on top of sewage
Oh,
water.
that was horrific. That was awesome.
All right, what was the?
And there was another major sad event in 2005 next to Hurricane Katrina.
Hey, there's a good one. If you're listening to music in 2005, My Humps came out by Black Eyed Peas.
Yeah, I never listened to Black Eyed Peas.
It's probably one of the few ones that I know. So,
And also in 2005, you don't remember the London bombing, right?
huh?
Yeah, London got bombed in 2005.
London got bombed. You said?
Yeah,
Hmm.
it was horrible. London got bombed. I think it was like a terrorist attack also.
Yeah, it was a terrorist attack. I remember that. Very little bit, but
Yeah, London bombing, the worst attack on London since the blizzard up in the 1940s. That was the biggest thing, and it was terrible.
all right. So if you were listening to the country in 2005, just some of the number one hits that came out that year. Some Beach by Blake Shelton. Brad Paisley's Mud on the Tires came out.
Okay.
The Rascal Flatts released one of their biggest hits,
How did I tell?
Brook Road.
Oh, really?
Mm-hmm. The next year, they released Life is a Highway. What I Love About Someday by Craig Morgan. I Give a Damn Busted by Jody Messina.
Okay.
Now, Toby Keith is one of my favorite ones by him. I ain't as good as I once was. Yeah, that's one of my favorites right there. And then Faith Hill released Mississippi Girl. Something to Be Proud of by Montgomery Gentry. Now, this one's funny. On December 17th, Joe Nichols, and probably his biggest hit, reached number one with Tequila Makes Your Clothes Fall Off.
I don't remember that one.
Huh?
I don't remember that one. Yeah, but 2005, oh man, I did the research, but in 2005, there was like a lot of bad stuff.
There's another one too. Whew. There's a couple more that came out in 2005 by the artist Trace Adkins. I am a huge fan of his. He's a great artist. But there are two that come off of his Songs About Me album that I just absolutely love. One of which everyone knows. Honky Tonk Badonkadunk.
Is that really actually a name?
Yep.
Of a song?
Honky Tonk Badonkadunk. Mm-hmm.
Wow.
Yeah, basically describing a girl's booty.
Yeah. I get that much.
Mm-hmm. And then on the same album, he also released my personal favorite by him, Arlington. Basically, it talks about a soldier returning home after dying in combat and being buried at Arlington.
Okay. Actually, I was gonna do something. Well,
Hmm.
in 2005, the trial started for for Saddam Hussein. So in
Mm-hmm.
2005, the trial of Saddam Hussein started.
Okay.
So and also that year, Pope the Pope John Paul II passed away. So yeah,
Yep.
the Pope the Pope died that year too. April 2nd, 2005. John Paul II passed away. And or you were how old were you in 2005 again?
I was 8.
Eh, So you wouldn't know. You wouldn't know this, but I think we got the first iPhone, or I think the iPhone, or was it the i?
You're probably iPod though.
Yeah,
Probably
I.
iPod. Maybe iPhone. I don't know, but
It, I remember in 2004, I had one of those old flip phones where you actually kind of flipped it up to talk to people instead of just pushing a button. Man, I hated those phones. So yeah,
here we go.
yeah. Well,
Huh. So
what?
this is an interesting one. So apparently in 2005, Gianna Geese from Wisconsin comes home from the hospital and officially becomes the first person to ever survive rabies without a vaccination. I remember reading about that later, but apparently what they did is they put her in a medically induced coma and allowed her immune system to fight it.
Was it intentional, or was it?
It was a medically induced coma. It was an intentional coma. But basically, what they realized is that when rabies attacks, it attacks because your brain is alive and working, and it moves so fast that your immune system has no way to combat it.
But wouldn't
So
it?
they, huh?
But wouldn't it be easier just to get the shot?
She didn't have the shot at the time, so they decided, okay, they don't want, she doesn't want to die, but what can we do? Okay,
I don't. What do you mean they didn't have the vaccine?
she was not vaccinated for rabies and got bit by something who did have it.
But if you go to the hospital, wouldn't they give it to you anyway?
I'm sorry.
If you go to the hospital, wouldn't they just give you the vaccine?
If you already are infected with the rabies, it won't do anything
I don't. What do
because
you
it'll
mean?
work so damn fast. The vaccine won't do crap.
I never heard anybody dying of rabies.
Oh yeah, it's very common.
To die?
Oh yeah, if you're not okay.
That's the first time I'm hearing about this.
Let's see here. So basically, what it is that it um,
So you're telling me that a rabies bite
yeah.
is more powerful than a cobra bite?
I'm sorry, Geesey was the name. is the name.
Yeah, but the rabies bite is more worse than a cobra bite. Then
let me see here.
with a
Let me see how many people die from rabies each year.
yeah, with a snake bite, if you go to the hospital real quick, they'll give you the shot, antivenom shot. But it sounds like you when you talk about rabies.
So, an estimated 59,000 people die from rabies annually. Um, this
Really?
number is likely an underestimate, as many cases go unreported. Majority of deaths occur in Africa and Asia, with dogs being the most common source of infection. So, because we have such a high vaccination rate here in the United States, the number of rabies deaths reported is about 1 to 3. So,
Out of 3 cases, one dies.
one 1 to 3 people die out of reported cases. But because it's such a high vaccination rate, and it's basically like, yeah, just get it because you get it with your tetanus, you get it with this, it's just good to have, But unfortunately, the CDC that's the only way to prevent people from dying from rabies is getting the vaccine. So, but
Yeah, I didn't know that.
she survived it without getting the vaccine. So that's quite interesting, medically wise.
I did not know that.
Mm-hmm.
Cool.
Um,
And personally, in 2005 for me, what was
so,
that? Yeah, go ahead.
on February 10th, North Korea, then led by dictator Kim Jong Il,
Yeah, the father.
the father, announces that it possesses nuclear weapons as a protection against the hostility it says it perceives from the United States.
Yeah, but that was, their technology was crap back in the day.
And on February 14th, YouTube
Yeah,
was founded by Steve Chen, Chad Hurley, and Jawad Karim, headquartered in San Bruno, California.
right down the road from me.
Mm-hmm.
Right down the road. Like I said earlier, without those guys and without this platform, I wouldn't met any of you guys. So,
Hmm.
so I forgot what movies came out that year.
Let me see here.
I know there's big blockbuster movies that came out that year. I just can't remember. I think Spider-Man 3 came out in February in 2005.
Star Wars Episode 3, Revenge of the Sith, came
Oh, you
out
mean
that
the
year.
prequel?
That was the last prequel movie.
You know what? Those movies were crap.
They were.
They were horrible.
The Chronicles of Narnia, The Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe came out.
Oh, I read the
Harry
book.
Potter and the Goblet of Fire. So the fourth movie in the movie series.
Okay.
God, what's his name? Peter Jackson version of King Kong came out that year.
Oh, that was crap.
It was pretty bad.
Oh, that was. Wasn't that one with Jack Black?
I believe so.
Yeah, it was crap.
Yeah. Wedding Crashers came out that year.
Oh,
War of
see,
the Worlds as well.
see, that's a good movie.
Charlie and the Chocolate Factory with Johnny Depp. Yuck.
You know what? I have mixed feelings about that movie. I really do.
It's so bad. It's so bad.
It wasn't that bad. It was more accurate than
To
the
the book, I understand, but
than the first original movie.
the thing that I don't like about it was the sorry. Man, I don't know, just the campiness that he played the character with. It was very campy. It almost seemed to be overdone.
Yeah,
Let's see here.
yeah,
Batman Begins. So the first of the Dark Knight trilogy.
yes. For me, I'm not into the dark Batman storyline. I think it's just crap.
And then if you wanted to get your animated movie, Madagascar came out that year.
Yeah. I heard of it, but I don't think I watched it.
Let's see here. Coach Carter came out that year.
Coach, why does that sound familiar?
It's about a basketball coach with Samuel L. Jackson.
Oh, okay, yeah. Okay.
Elektra came out that year with Jennifer
Oh,
Gardner.
that a horrible movie. Horrible.
And then
That movie.
one that I watched a lot of when that was in that year was Racing Stripes. That was an interesting one because basically it's about it's about a zebra who joins a horse race.
Yeah,
It's an interesting one.
Yeah, but you were you were like 80 years old at the time, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, of course.
It's a perfect one for me.
Yeah, of course you were like the cartoon. You were 8.
It was a live action movie.
Oh, really?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, my God. Yeah, like I said, I was 25 at the time.
And then if you want to get your musical fix, you had The Phantom of the Opera with Gerard Butler there.
Yeah, the remake, right?
Yeah, and no, it's based off of the musical. So
They have so many of those.
Everything since then has been a remake of this one. So
Yeah, so. Oh, I forgot who was the president at the time.
That was Bush too. That was the second Bush.
Oh, you mean Bush Jr.?
Yeah.
The son? Not bad.
Oh, if you wanted to get a good comedy one, The Pacifier came out that year.
See, that
sucked.
You're just naming crappy movies right now.
There wasn't that great of movies. Robots came out that year. That's a good one.
Robots?
Mm-hmm.
Who was in that one?
Ewan McGregor, Halle Berry, Mel Brooks, Amanda Bynes, Drew Carey, Stanley Tucci, Robin Williams.
What was the movie about?
Basically,
I can't remember.
In a world of anthropomorphic robots, Rodney, the son of Herb and Lydia, are an aspiring young inventor from the city of Rivet Town. He idolizes Big Well, the guy who invents a lot of things, and a philanthropist whose company employs other inventors, and provides poor robots with spare parts. So basically, it's a very political movie. Basically, if you watch it today and you understand things today,
Maybe that's why I can't remember it.
because it's a very good movie. I like it.
Going back to the past part,
Hmm.
one of one of Vin Diesel's horrible movies.
The what?
Of Vin Diesel's
Yeah, the
horrible
pacifier.
movie. Yeah, he had a lot of horrible movies in the 2000s. It was just horrible. And I know the Honda Civic was the best-selling car that year. I think
The what
the Honda Civic.
was the best-selling car that year?
Yeah, I think it was. It's a Honda or
The Ford F-Series was the top-selling vehicle in the United States.
yeah, but for a truck.
The Toyota Camry was the leading sedan model.
Really, I thought it was Civic. So Camry.
So let's see. According to Edmunds, the Ford F-Series sold 901,463 trucks.
Yeah.
Chevrolet Silverado sold 705,891.
Everybody had a truck that year. Yeah.
The Toyota Camry had 433,703 units sold. The Dodge Ram had 453 units sold. The Honda Accord was the first Honda on this list with 369,293, so almost 70,000 less than the Camry.
Okay.
The Honda Civic sold 308,415.
That's it.
Mm-hmm. The Nissan Altima was it sold 255,371.
Okay.
The Chevrolet Impala had 246,481 units sold. And the Chevrolet Malibu with 245,861. And the Trailblazer
Cool.
244,150.
So, do you remember what kind of car your parents had when you were?
So at the time, I believe my mom had a 1997 Chevrolet Prism. That was the main car we used. I can't remember if I think my dad got our Saturn that year.
Okay.
He got rid of his Geo Metro and he got the Saturn that year, I believe.
Okay. Cool.
And that was a 1994 S Series Saturn.
Okay.
So by the time we got it in 2005, it was already 11 years old.
Yeah. Those are nice cars too. So. And also,
for the time it worked. So
yeah. And also in Canada that year, Canada legalized same-sex marriage. In Canada that year.
they're a bit in front of us. Yeah.
And also the NASA found in 2005, NASA found a dwarf planet. So they found a new planet that year. And that was pretty cool. Pretty cool. Finding a new planet.
So, what do we have? So we have.
Hey, just
Wanted to go. Oh yeah. Thank you. Yep. Yeah. For those of you not familiar with Midwestern culture, there are two parts. Everyone forgets there are two parts of Michigan. There's the Mitten, and then there's the UP, the Upper Peninsula of Michigan. That's the one right above Wisconsin. And they are known as Upers. Oh, sorry, Upers. They just call it the Up.
okay. Why?
It just flows off the tongue. That's just how they call themselves because it's UP, Up, Uper.
I did not know that.
Mm-hmm.
This is the first time.
Yeah, this is like this particular shirt is from a comedy group up there who
Oh,
make
really?
fun of like culture up there, and
Okay.
they just have fun making jokes about their own culture. So it's basically Canadian rednecks, if you can imagine.
I love rednecks. They're the nicest people.
Oh yeah, they got my piece of crap car, the rusty Chevrolet, a love song called Diarrhea. They do a lot of really funny stuff. So
They're like a comedy group.
they're a comedy group. They do musical comedy. So
Okay.
Yeah, they have a lot of fun with that one. So what TV shows were on in 2005?
Oh man.
Criminal Minds.
What?
Avatar: The Last Airbender started, I believe, in 2005.
The cartoon?
The cartoon.
Yeah.
The Boondocks started on.
Would it?
Mm-hmm. The Boondocks started. American Dad. Ghost Whisperer. The Sweet Life of Zack and Cody.
That started in 2005?
Mm-hmm. Grey's Anatomy.
I didn't like that show.
Supernatural.
That show was crap.
It's Always Sunny.
That show was kind of decent, but after the third season,
Deadliest Catch.
I love that. I love that reality show where they go out in boats and they try to catch crabs or stuff like that. It's still on the History Channel. So if you guys want to watch it, you can go to the History Channel. So yeah. Alright, well, we're on the subject of your birthday.
What else we got?
Red Green.
Oh yes, I love the Red Green Show. Love the Red Green Show. That was still on in 2005.
Yeah,
I think it was on his last season. I think it was on his last season though.
Alright. Always Sunny in Philadelphia with Danny DeVito. and in that year, my favorite wrestler died too. That year. I don't know if you guys.
So,
Go ahead.
So I'm just looking at kids shows because that's what I would have been watching. I don't remember a lot of these, so
Really? Name some. Maybe
I didn't watch a lot of them. So Camp Laszlo,
I saw that. It was pretty good.
American Dragon, Jake Long,
American Dragon. I heard of it, but didn't watch it.
Johnny Test.
Oh, Johnny Test.
Mm-hmm. Go Diego Go.
Huh?
Go Diego Go.
Yeah, that was a spin-off of Dora the Explorer.
Mm-hmm. My favorite at the time, Ben 10 came out about that time too.
Oh, you mean the movie where
No, the cartoon show.
Ben 10?
Mm-hmm.
They made a TV show out of that?
You know what? They made a TV show before they made the movie.
Are we talking about the same Ben 10 I'm thinking of?
The one with the aliens? Yeah.
Ben 10.
He basically wears this watch that makes him transform into different aliens from all over the universe. And
No, I'm talking about the cartoon movie where this guy's brother dies, but before he died, his brother makes his little brother some kind of robot to protect him.
oh no, that I don't know about that one. That's not the one I'm thinking about.
Okay. So. Oh
Yep.
yeah.
That was when I was starting to get in my Ben 10 era. So.
Okay. And back then, I was just like that. I used to watch wrestling, but in 2005, my all-time favorite wrestler died that year from a heart attack.
Mm.
And his name was Eddie Guerrero.
Eddie Guerrero. That was 2005. Wow.
Yeah, that was 2005. Eddie Guerrero, and he is famous because his whole family is part of the wrestling industry. When you go back to
it's kind of like that Samoan family.
yeah, but Eddie Guerrero's family came from Mexico, and there was a lot of relatives. Like without Eddie Guerrero breaking through to the U.S. market, none of these other luchadors would ever been brought into American wrestling.
One of my favorites, Ray.
And Ray is, I don't know if that's true, but Ray says that he is related to the Guerreros.
Probably has like a distant cousin or something.
Yeah, something like that. But yeah, the Guerrero family is a big.
I know he got his start because of Eddie.
It's a big. The name Guerrero is a big wrestling family.
Still today, yeah.
Yeah, in professional wrestling.
Even today. Yep.
Yeah. You have his
I mean,
father starting to wrestle now for independent wrestling.
I think Chavo is at AEW, I believe.
No, Chop, he left. He's TNA.
Back on the independent circuit.
Well, no, he signed with TNA, and then he started with his own wrestling company down in Mexico. He worked with Booker T's wrestling company, Reality of Wrestling. So the Guerrero name is everywhere.
I know Vicky's still doing stuff too.
Yeah, Vicky's doing stuff with AEW, ROH, New Japan Wrestling, Stardom.
I mean, she is. I mean, to be fair, she has one of the most annoying voices in the entire industry. But
That's why she got over in wrestling. That's why people
she
grab
was
it.
good. She's good at being that annoying heel.
Oh yeah. She is. you, you hear that voice?
I say, excuse me.
That one. You know what? When I heard that,
You know, whenever I hear that voice now, I don't think of Vicky. I think of the term Karen now. I want to see your manager. You know, but she kind of started that whole ethos,
yeah, she did. Yeah. But
but she
yeah,
didn't put it out in the broad light like COVID did.
uh,
Yep, Robot. I think Robot Chicken already was in production in 2005. It had already been going strong for a while now.
you know, on the
I
adult
think the
level.
office. I think the Office was a debut that year. So the American Office, I
That
should
was
point out,
that was a different office.
in Britain, yeah,
Really?
with Ricky Gervais and.
That's it. I didn't know that at all, man.
Mhm.
Okay.
Yeah, the American Office, I believe, did debut in 2005.
Okay. Nice.
Yeah.
But
So
yeah,
I mean, I didn't enjoy school that year, so
I can't believe that was like 15 years ago already.
yeah, 20,
Was it really?
20 years ago.
Yeah, you're right. Man,
I was not enjoying school at that time either.
why?
I was getting mercilessly bullied by the school bully.
I mean, I mean,
Single-handedly picked me out.
I mean, every kid gets bullied.
Do you have death threats written about you and given to you?
Yeah, but that happened when I was in high school.
Yeah, I was in third grade when that happened.
But you know,
And they didn't discipline him at all. They didn't discipline the kid at all. There was no detention, no suspension, nothing. He gave me a death threat and they gave him nothing.
oh,
Yeah. Then my parents decided in January of 2006 to take me to a private school, which is a Catholic school, and that did not work well.
oh, Catholic schools are the worst.
Yeah, they are.
No, I mean the bullies are more worse.
They're pretentious pricks, is what they are. They
I mean,
don't care about people like me with middle class. They don't care about people like me
no, because they think that
because they're wealthy and they know they can get away with it.
yeah, but they think that
Not only do they have the influence of money, they also have the power of God on their side too. So they think.
see, I hate people that use God as a scapegoat like that. I mean, give me a break. It doesn't matter how much money you have. It's about how you treat
Yeah,
people.
yeah. I hear you. I hear you. It took me until we moved out here to Sugar Grove in 2006. It was in the summer of 2006 that we moved in here, and that's where I finally started to fit in. But that took until middle school. It took 2 years, 2 to 3 years for me to fit in, and I found my groove here in the country. And I don't ever want to go back to the city. that will hurt people.
A long time too. Wow.
Yeah. And the things that surprised me once I found this out later is that in high school, I would compete against Catholic schools and stuff like that. They're the I hate to say this, but the girls at Catholic schools are the biggest hoe bags in the world. I mean, literally, there was this one who was a senior. I was a sophomore, and I was just running and getting ready for my race and stuff like that. And hey, can you do me at homecoming? I'm like, is she talking to me? I literally look at my friend and I'm like, is she talking to me? I hope to God she's not, because I don't even know where this town is.
I would have been all over that. I'm just saying, guys.
They do. They do. My dad can even attest to that. He grew up in Catholic school, and he said that was the worst experience of his life. He probably wished he was in a public school.
My dad loved Catholic school. He went to Catholic school when he was a kid in Korea.
Total different ballgame here.
My grandmother was really, really, really religious.
I think just that 6 months of being in Catholic school made me really detest everything about it. About the church and everything.
And you know what I heard about Catholic girls that go to Catholic school? They're really easy to take out.
Oh yeah. Mm-hmm.
They don't know the word no in their vocabulary.
Nope.
I'm just saying, guys, don't get mad at me or don't.
And the worst ones actually are the pastor's daughters.
Oh yeah, they are. That's what I heard. They're more, let's say, more fertile.
Let's see, more experimental.
But yeah. We're not going to go into deep details about that. If we do, we'll be on here for like hours and hours.
Yeah. It's mm-hmm.
Analyzing these Catholic girls. We don't want to go down that hole. So.
Nope. I'm glad I grew up in the country where I was at. I
was raised in like a city, so
yeah,
I cannot live in the country.
Especially having someone who was at the time that I was living in 2005, I was living in a Latin Kings neighborhood.
Where? Where?
I was in a Latin King neighborhood.
Oh, wow.
Big drug cartel gang.
Wow. Dang, dude.
I was the only white kid in a Mexican neighborhood, Mexican gang neighborhood.
Still friends with a preacher's daughter to this day. She was.
Yeah, we know.
We were just talking about that right now.
They're a bit wild. Let's just put it that way.
It's a clean version. How this conversation came up?
Maybe some of that Girls Gone Wild videos are inspiration from preachers' daughters. I don't know.
Okay. Yeah, but I'm sure that she's not that wild anymore, right, Jetson?
Yeah, but anyway, in 2005, I believe that was one of the years that one of the people I knew got executed by one of the gangs.
Okay, yeah, we're not gonna go down that hole either.
That was another reason why we had to move. And that's the reason why I can't live in the city. I mean, hmm. So she took her passion for wildness and took it into food. Okay.
Okay, she's a food critic. You know what? I hate food critics.
Yeah, I don't. I don't. It makes you want to improve all the time. Now, if it I know that they're generally like looking at every single aspect of the business, but at least in terms of the food, if the food ain't good, don't come.
You know why I hate food critics?
Right?
Because
Could ruin your reputation.
no, not even that. Why would you listen to a food critic? You might have a different taste. You might not like it, but other people might like it.
Got it. I got you.
How did this turn into like
Anyway, what I was
episode?
trying to say is, um, I'm glad I moved. That was the beginning of the end, and Elgin for me. Me and my sister were getting a little bit too big for the little condo we had in Elgin.
And what wasn't? I believe 2005 was the highest year for rent.
Yeah,
For
we owned our condo, so yeah, we owned the condo, and then
and I believe the Patriots were they won the third of their championships that year.
what's
I,
up?
so yeah, Tom Brady got his third Super Bowl ring in 2005, or was it the fourth?
No, he got the fourth in Super Bowl 49.
Uh, so it's the third
Yeah,
one.
this was the dynasty year. This was the back to back.
Yeah. So well, yeah. You have any more you want to talk about 2005?
No, no.
All right, guys, that was 2005. A lot of tragedy happened in 2005.
Yeah, yeah. I agree with that. Way more down to earth, and actually wanted to do something in their community too. Country people do.
I grew up in one stoplight town. And, well, yeah, I might be one of those kind of people because after living in the city, I cannot go to the countryside. I just can't.
I mean, I can navigate a city, but to stay there for extended periods, mm-mm.
Really?
I mean, already my stress levels go up just entering the city
Really? Damn.
because there's a higher concentration of idiots on the road that don't know how to drive worth a damn.
I mean, that's everywhere. Come
But
on.
that's the higher density of idiots.
I'm sure that there are idiots in the countryside too.
Yes, I agree. I can handle it for about a day and then I have to leave. I have to. Because not only is it the idiot drivers, it's also you don't know this, especially if it's a new city, you don't know what it's like. Could wind up in a bad neighborhood and people popping off at you. That nearly happened to me a couple times while driving down some of the roads in Chicago. Get
Well,
off at a
that's
bad exit.
Chicago.
Yeah, but
Chicago,
that's also Elgin too, the
but
town where I grew
Chicago
up
is
in.
known for their violence, bro.
I understand there are country idiots, but guess what? They're also labeled as the town drunk or the town idiot. Everyone knows who they are, and they try to stay clear of them.
Well, in the city, we have those kind of idiots also.
But I mean, I think the community is a lot stronger in small communities because you have to look out for one another. You can't rely on
Cops.
well, not necessarily. I'm not saying that, but I mean the cops will be there. But what I mean is, say someone needs something built, we'll come out and help them out. Say someone needs something done with their lawn, we'll loan them something and get it right back.
Mhm.
You know, it's that bartering system. You give me this, I'll give you that. You know, it's just a lot more like how I described it as like 1950s community based. I mean, yes, it's a bit old school, but at least where I'm at right now in Hinckley, Illinois, there is no big racism and segregation or anything like that, unlike some places down south. But I mean, everyone is treated equally. I mean, I know there are.
Well, I can, yeah, I can dig that.
I know there are good people everywhere. It's just the higher concentration of idiots that cities have that I can't stand.
I love downtown Detroit and everything. See, that's why for the reason why I like the city better than the country. I love that kind of chaos where there's a lot of people walking around. I'm more of an introvert guy, or they have,
Introvert.
they have an name for it, where I like to be around people.
I do too. It's just not massive crowds of people.
Oh, you're not gonna like Korea.
I can't do crowds.
Oh my god, you're not gonna like
That's the reason why I was not gonna. I was pretty high when I went to Billy Joel last year, so that's the only way to keep my anxiety down.
Okay. Just for me.
Hey, at least that person, that kind stranger, was willing to help you with that.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah. You're lucky with that.
I mean, when I went to go and see Billy Joel last year, yeah, it was under the influence of something, but um, I mean, that was the only way to keep my anxiety down because I see everything. Okay, when we were walking home from from Soldier Field to Union to the other station. I mean, excuse me. There were literally prostitutes and gangbangers and hookers and all that right along the side of the road doing street walks.
Yeah, but at least were they attractive?
I don't know. I wasn't paying attention. I don't care. I wasn't ever going to solicit their services. But the fact that they had rows of cars lined up.
I guess that was good business that night.
Because it's a concert.
Yeah. So, but yeah. So let's see. What year do you want to do next?
Let's do the 50s next. Let's do something in the 50s. We haven't done that. We haven't done that decade yet.
So you don't want me to put it in the polls? So 50s.
Just put it in the poll. So just say 50s. We'll do another 60s maybe, and then maybe another 2000s if they're wanting.
Okay.
Or maybe another 90s, maybe.
Sounds good to me.
90s or 2000s, whichever one.
Last week we did 1995. So
yeah, probably stay away from that. But yeah.
All right. But yeah, guys, I appreciate you getting up early to watch this and support us.
Yeah, that would be nice.
Yes, it would. I would love to go back in time. But the only thing I needed Mr. Fusion to finish my time mission.
Mr. Who?
Mr. Fusion.
Oh, yeah.
I love that movie. I
don't know. I kind of like Doc Brown from Back to the Future too.
Well, my favorite Doc Brown was in the old Wild West in Part 3. So.
Yeah.
But yeah, guys, I'll put 2 dates down in the comment section so you guys can vote on what year you want us to do next. It's all up to you guys.
Yep. You guys control our narratives for at least for the next episode. So.
Yeah, you guys are in control of this podcast. So, before we go, is there anything you want to plug here?
Sure. If you follow my YouTube channel right here, sorry about not uploading anything recently, but I'm experimenting with a couple recipes, but hopefully we'll be getting some more out soon. So, yeah, that's about it. If you like cooking, if you like stuff like that, just go ahead and give me a follow here. And
all right. For me, I am busy I'm busy until July right now. I already got like 10 people lined up to do an interview with for the channel. If you guys are into stealth camping, or if you're if you guys are interested in food or if you're interested in other teams' podcasts, I'll have a video out for you guys on everything. Right now, all my interview videos are doing so well that other people are contacting me to interview them. So you guys are gonna get a lot of content this summer for the past
Looking forward to it, man. Looking forward to it.
yeah, for the next 2 months. You guys are gonna get a lot of interviews. A lot of interviews. And,
Yeah.
and we might have a special guest also at work.
Hey, thanks a lot, man.
I'm still trying to get Papa Grassi to come on. He's been busy for a while.
That's okay.
I think he just came back from a cruise right now, so I need to talk to.
Nothing wrong with that.
Yeah, I need to talk to Tom again.
Sounds good.
Just subscribe. You guys have a great weekend, and I'll see you. Yeah, you too, my man. Thank you for joining us this morning. And like I said earlier, you guys are going to get a lot of interviews with a lot of different YouTubers. So some of them are sportscasters. Actually, the next interview that's coming out this Tuesday, I had the opportunity to interview a former ESPN sports announcer and he had his own show on ESPN.
Oh boy.
And he talked to a lot of baseball players and stuff like that.
Seems like you also talked about superheroes too, from what I hear.
Yes, we do. We talk about superheroes. So you guys are gonna love that one. So it's gonna be coming out this Tuesday. So
Alrighty.
I hope you guys watch it and like it and subscribe. And thank you to the new subscribers that I got in the past week. You guys know who you are. Thank you so much for picking my channel and subscribing. We are only 116 away from 2,000 subscribers. But yeah, guys, and go to his channel and subscribe too. I know recently he didn't post anything recently, but I'm trying to
I
get
think it's good content though.
Yeah, I'm trying to get him to do a little bit more. But,
yeah. It's been busy though, so.
But I know he had a busy schedule also. So I'm not gonna get on him but about that.
You gotta work, man. You gotta work.
Yeah, he's a hard. You guys don't know, but Phil is a hard worker. He really is.
I'm a hard-working SOB.
Yeah, he is the nicest guy too. So give him a break.
Oh sure, we'll allow that to slip. Okay.
What?
No, we're kidding. We're kidding.
I love this man.
Yep.
And when I say I love this man, I mean it in like a brotherly way.
Hey, you helped me out of my alcohol addiction.
No, you did that. You did that.
Well, you kind of put the wheels in motion.
I was just there to support. You did all the work.
I know.
So I'm not going to take any credit for that. That was all you. And
all right.
And I am proud of you for that. So.
Yeah, we'll tell that story probably come football season again.
Yeah, keep up the hard work. I know it. I know it's hard sometimes. So,
Yeah.
well, like me,
Hard to believe it's been 4 years now.
man, that long. That I ate 4 years. Oh God, that's horrible. All right, guys, we'll see you next time, and don't forget to like, share, and subscribe, and all that goodie. I'll see you guys later. Guys, late.